I got here with 4 minutes of ops left. I can't keep cutting it that close, man. One of these days, I'm gonna miscalculate. And then I'm getting a violation. Hey guys, this is Jace and welcome to episode 91 of my road show. I've got a lot to get into, so let's get right into it. Let me preface this video by saying that none of the footage that I used last Thursday will be used today. All the footage you were seeing today got shot today. And as you can see, there's going to be plenty of it. Might be another weekend adventure, but I'll do what I can for you guys. We left terribly late and terribly heavy. And one of the reasons why we left so late is because it started snowing like 5 hours before it was supposed to start snowing. So I ended up having to put stuff on the truck, and then like it would try to slide off, and then it was a nightmare trying to get that loaded, and it was really tall and it was really heavy. And at one point I ended up having to put chains on my freaking forklift. Yeah, chains on the forklift. It is 20 after 10 and we are just now leaving the yard. And I was given a road report that says that I-70, everything west of 270 is going to be really jacked up. So I'll just go ahead and preemptively say that this day's gonna suck. So we finally get going, and it had been snowing in Denver for hours, and it was piled up everywhere, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna be shocked if the chain laws are not up for like right west of like E470, you know, just as you start to climb. The thing is that when I kept passing all the digital boards that didn't say that the chain laws were up, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going because I'm not gonna put the chains on if they don't tell me I have to. You know what I'm saying? So the further up that we get, the sort of better the roads became. It's one of those weird situations where you don't know the higher up you go if the roads are going to get any crappier or not, because there are times when the roads are really crappy in Denver, and by the time you get to Idaho Springs, the freaking roads are dry. On the other hand, I've seen it where as you go up and it gets crappier, it just you just never know. It's one of those weird days today. You might not be able to see it in the camera, but there's a dark band like this and a light band underneath it. That generally means that the higher up we go, the less it's going to snow. So let's keep our fingers crossed that that's the case, because man, we are late. We are so late, man. Sometimes the snow patterns out here remind me of when I was a kid in Florida, and it would be raining its ass off right on top of your head, but across the street, the sidewalk would be literally dry. I mean, it certainly appears that the higher up in elevation we get, the better the roads are, but this is Colorado, man. You just don't know. And I'll tell you what else, these digital signs, none of them have said anything about commercial chain laws. All they said is passenger vehicle chain laws or traction laws. So with that in mind, I think we're going to be good to go. So this is a few miles just before Idaho Springs. As you can see, there's nothing on the road. There's nothing in the shoulder. There's nothing in where nobody's driving.
It's just going to be one of those days, man. That is insane. Mother Nature, you tripping.
So we get our fuel in Dumont, go through the scale. They think it's all good, so we keep going. We drive up and we're noticing that there's a little bit of change here and there because it started snowing again. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be a repeat of last Thursday. So let's take a look at what that first. So let's take a look at what that first switchback looks like. So it was really good to go from there all the way up to the top where it started getting kind of crappy on the way back down, but it's the north side of the pass. It's always like that.
Well, as you can see, kids, the north side is always the worst side. Always.
We got down out of that, we got into Winter Park, and I had all 3 of my front side time vampires. All 3. I had Tabernash and both of my Granbys, and each one of them was like 45-minute stop. I'm like, man, I don't have time for this crap. Ain't nobody got time for that. So by the time we actually got to Kremling, it was all good. The sun had come out and everything. And it wasn't until we got to, guess what? J.H.R.S Pass, started snowing again. But at least this time it wasn't the big fat wet snow. It was like the little tiny particle snows that really don't accumulate on stuff. And so I didn't have a visibility problem, and it really wasn't accumulating in the travel area of the road, so it wasn't that bad to work in. I mean, far cry from what it was last week.
We got a guy up here in the front of the line. Little white van, he's got his flashers on. Now, despite what this looks like, there's actually a groove on either side of the track here where if you keep running over it, you're not going to slide. I only know that because of experience. Years and years and years of experience. But that is the case today. We just got to find out what's going on with this white van, get past him, and get our butts down into Steamboat. Because ain't nobody got time for this shit.
So we get 3 stops done in Steamboat, and I have a problem.
Ordinarily, from here to Clifton is a 3-hour trip. I've got 2 hours and 56 minutes of ops left. So we got to do some time traveling if I'm going to make it. But as you can tell, I'm in the time machine, so we'll make it. I just got off the phone with Best Western in Clifton. And the girl there is reporting perfectly clear blue sky right now. So if I've got blue skies in Clifton and blue skies here in Hayden, I think Highway 13 is going to be fine. We've got to do some time traveling, so I'm hoping it's fine. We're fixing to find out.
So with all of that said and done and almost in the bag, I'm getting ready to run out of hours. And I'm turning the corner and rifle. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I literally don't know if I'm going to make it, even with my time machine. So we turn the corner and we start going. And we hammer it. And I mean, hammer it. I'm not stopping for nothing. I still ended up getting here with time to spare. It's only 4 minutes, but that's still time to spare, man. I'm just afraid one of these days I'm gonna miscalculate and I'm gonna end up having to stop short and sleep in the damn truck. Because once you shut down, you have to shut down for 10 hours. And I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens. I mean, I can't be waiting on orders. And I mean, a lot of it was attributable to the weather today. So, I mean, I give that a pass because, I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, talk smack to Mother Nature? She'll throw a lightning bolt on your head and then you'll be dead. And that's exactly what I said. So yeah, something's got to be done about waiting on orders. I mean, I can't keep doing this, man. I keep lucking out. Like, I just keep getting lucky, and one of these days my luck's gonna run out. Anyway, tomorrow's stops are one here in Clifton, one in Glenwood, one in Basalt, one in Aspen, one in Edwards. Edwards? Yeah, one in Edwards, one in Breckenridge, one in Silverthorne, and then I can go home. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to these videos, man. We're gonna get some traffic going on. Anyway, that's all I've got for you tonight. We'll see you in the next video.
Ruined my shot, thank you.
So we get our fuel in Dumont. So let's take a look at what that first. So let's take a. And there were times where it would be raining on you. Let me try that again. It kind of reminds me. Sometimes in the. Come to find out, Highway 30. Tomorrow's stops are. Oh, wait a minute.